Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and welcome in the arena. So, uh, oh, wow, do we have issues again? I'm gonna kill them. I've been reported some sound issues, and they should have been solved. But it seems like now it's a video that is working itself. Oh, the joy of streaming, man! Can you hear me? I got the chat here. No, okay. No, it's not. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. Let me check quickly. It better work because I have exciting stuff today. I don't want to be held by technical problem. Um, it seems to be okay. I'll keep this one open for the chat. Okay. So I got the chat on YouTube. If you have a question, feedback, comment, not on YouTube, sorry, on Twitter, the Twitter live chat. Let me try it out. Seems to be working. Okay. So today I want to do the 1 month report of the investment. We didn't deploy so much, so it should be pretty straightforward. And to do a bit of a special deployment into Aerodrome, because I realize, I'm showing you picking stable farms, doing different plays, but a decent amount of my activity is around Aero, and I felt a bit I don't know. It was a bit of a lackluster, let's say, in this arena stream. If I am to show you how I'm doing concretely my DeFi on chain, well, then of course Aero is going to be a decent part of it. So I decided to supply the wallet with 10,000 USDC, and we will deploy in Aero. I will show you first how to deploy because there are subtleties there. And yeah, I raised the stakes a little bit simply because I wanted us to have a nice position size on Aero so we can do in the coming weeks the kind of explore the full stack. So we're gonna deploy to use it as collateral and deploy into 40 acres to borrow, and we can even try out the autopilot or take part in the community launches and kind of things. And I have problem again. Oh my goodness. This laptop is not up for it. The room has flipped. Oh, well, it's like the mirror option I must have enabled on one side, but not on the other. It's a pain though. I can't get persistent message from the chat. Come on, Twitter. Yes. So I'm still figuring that out. Chat is definitely a problem. I was hoping we'd get something better. I'm checking the YouTube to see if it's any better. Well, it doesn't seem any better. It's okay. So let's get started. Moment of truth. Can this poor little laptop stomach this? We'll see. No. That was not the right button. Okay. So you should see now our little tracking sheet. You have the link on my blog TokenBrice XYZ in the live section. It's a bit of a a pain for me to get it to share it with you. But yeah, essentially we put in here all the money that comes in, the various position we deployed, and it allows us to have an idea of the starting point of each. So far, we haven't eliminated any position, so we don't have any effective realized profit metrics to share. And another important is this: if oh my goodness, it's the money in where we track in the money sent to the wallet to have an idea of the overall deployment. But now it seems like D sheets is giving me some fun. Oh yeah. Come on, D sheets. I liked you. I'm showcasing you. Now it's your time to shine. Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to add the deployment that has been done today, which I will show you in a minute. I'm just putting it here. So not the deployment, sorry, the allocation. I just I sent some 10,000 USDC to the Arena wallet so we can have some fun with veAERO. And so we're doing just the accounting of that. Here it is. Clack, clack, clack. Okay. And while we're on dbank, we can have a look at our little positions. So if you remember well, we deployed everything in block of $500. Yes, and we are missing what? Let me go back to the sheet. That's why it's useful to have a sheet. So we deployed into the East Long on Sear mainnet, into 40 acres as USDC on Base, into Aventis as USDC on Base. Oh yeah, that's the one missing. The automatic strategy in Glider Finance to try it out the product. $500 into the Mega East sale. I will get back to that in just a minute. We now have allocation. And $500 in Hyperfusion. So on debunk, you have two missings that are not processed, which is the Mega ETH, because simply they're not received yet, and this Glider Finance that is not processed on debunk. But for the other deployment, so far so good. So we put 500 in each stablecoin farm. This IPO is the most recent one. It only had 2 weeks running. The other had exactly a month running to this date. And yeah, we can see the yield is pretty much similar for all, between 10 to 20% roughly. We will compute it more broadly as we exit, but all so far seems to be pretty decent stablecoin farm. It might be worth to investigate further this USD. If you remembered, we kind of deployed into it a bit like degens. We're like, why not? We will figure it out. We got lucky here because we didn't get hit apparently by the whole XUSD shenanigan, but that's definitely something that can happen when you deploy in a random stable farm. So yeah, when we have a minute, we're definitely gonna do a little background check on this guy. And of course, so East Long is suffering because it's opened at 4,040. So now the net value is $200 down. There were some fees as well to open the position, so not all is from the price action. But yeah, that's kind of the beauty merit of it is we can wait as long as needed. We don't have funding fees there, so as long as we are confident that ETH will go, let's say, to recover our fees and make some profit. Let's say we go to 5,000 one day, we can close the position at profit against ETH, and so that would be the interesting part. We might just have to wait quite a few months to reach that point. So Mega ETH, yes, I wanted to show you that because this is important. So let me just here, I need it. It's on the other wallet, so just a second. So the tracking we can close for now. We're gonna go here. So just a sec to connect. Oh, fuck. Okay, I will do it on the other tab. It's faster. Let me just switch tab that is shared then. Chrome tab, this one. So you should see the Mega East public sale tab. and essentially we got allocated 26,000 mega on $2,600. Um, this is not the full allocation for the arena. Remember, essentially the deal we've made together is that I took 500 USDC from the arena wallet on TokenBrice.is, and I will send $500 worth of mega token. So roughly a fifth of that 26,000 mega is what the arena wallet will receive. The only thing is we need to wait a bit further. We need to wait until next week, essentially, when we can actually receive the mega token. So November 29 to 19, sorry, to 21 is when I will claim those mega, or I don't know if I need to claim, but receive those mega with token price of this and forward the appropriate amount to the arena wallet, and then we can put the actual investment in the sheets and maybe even look at what's going to happen on I was about to say the mega is reward campaign, but no, because it's gatekept between participant of the sale, so I will have to do it with the main wallet. I don't know. We will consider it, but that's yeah, I guess that's for the mega is. No, the bulk of what I want to do with you today is to discuss about veAERO. They made big announcement yesterday, and to show you concretely how to harness that ecosystem. And starting from the entry, it's already a bit uh, of work. Oh, what the hell? There is a chat. It exists. Oh wow. And it gathers from Twitter and YouTube, so you can speak on both, and I will see you there. Magnificent. Uh, Let me know if you want the chat on the stream. Maybe for you it's not convenient. I can just put it as an overlay for me. Yeah, maybe that's better. So I see it, but I don't have to reduce your screen size. Um, so yeah, let's get into the veAERO stuff. So for those who were living under a rock, they had their big keynote event in New York yesterday, and they announced a lot of stuff. So I'm just searching on my phone because I was actually following this like if it was an Apple launch and recapping with with friends what's happening, because it was 5 hours long, so it was real work there. But okay, so yeah, there are a few things that were announced. So a merge between veAERO and Velo merging into veAERO. Not too surprised here. We were expecting that, as well as a launch of veAERO on Ethereum and on any chain of the EVM. So this was also expected, I guess. The novel part is the composability layer. They're using Hyperlane to essentially connect all the chains. And one interesting thing that stemmed from the presentation is they seem really focused on the UI. So I've mentioned it a few times in the stream. I think it's important. But and they were absolute savages on stage about it yesterday. It was brutal. So they showed you, I don't know, random dApp where you connect with Privy and all that, you know, libraries important, blah blah blah. And essentially they showed you like the where the data is going, and like, hey, yeah, you're doing Web3 with those guys, yeah, yeah, you're logging into Avi, or I don't know, Uniswap interface, I don't know what. No, actually, look what you're doing. It looks more like Web2 because you're interacting with 20 services just by logging your wallet there. Versus, of course, their interface that is fully on chain, and it's something worthy of praise indeed, because that means, you know, easier access, hosting on IPFS, and so on. So they're really pushing that a step further with the V3, where they're bringing the whole analytics stacks on chain as well. And essentially they want to, my gut feeling is that they want to become the DeFi super app, you know, the one place to trade and bridge from any chain to any chain, a bit like a function, I guess, that a Jumper or a Bungee is fulfilling right now. But you have to be aware that Jumper and Bungee are pretty how to say that, they didn't cross the barrier to the normies, if I could put it this way. Like people in DeFi, they will use Jumper or Bungee or Swap.DeFi Llama. Um, but it's more people that were already using Dex aggregator before, or that were already kind of in the knowns of things. It didn't really take people from, I don't know, their Coinbase wallet or their Binance account to actually doing stuff on chain. So I think this is where it can be interesting here. And yeah, I don't want to make it a full debrief on this because it can be long, but there are tons and tons of other things. They're integrating the whole automation suite into the main experience, as well as the NFT trading marketplace. They're launching some mechanism to capture MEV on the swaps, several new revenue streams that are directed to aero holders. They're adjusting the economic model as well with dynamic emissions. So this is going to be really interesting. Um, yeah, the integration of the launch program with several levels, depending of if you're like more a community project or a major project doing your launch on chain. So yeah, again, this is not a Aero news recap, but just to give you the context of that. So that is expected Q2 2026. Plus, just the last couple of weeks, I've been thinking of how to make this show more truthful to my actual DeFi. And yeah, indeed, I do try out different stablecoin farms and products like I'm doing with you here. But I think there was a real lack in the aero department, and so that's what we are solving today. So we have 10,000 USDC to purchase aero, and now the goal will be to build a position. So I'm going to show you a few things that I use to build my aero positions, because just the entry is already. You can also, it's a good day to buy aero because people saw the news, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, just by the entry, you can see how sophisticated the players are. Some player will just go straight market buy and lock, and it's not necessarily a bad approach. Depending of the moment, it might be a good approach. But yeah, I will show you how to consider the whole thing. So maybe we start with here, so you get the full picture. I think it's DeFiWars.xyz. I just want to show you the veAERO ownership. I think they have it. Yes. So as you may know or not, there is about 40% of the aero supply that is owned either by the team or by some structure that are implementing some program. They're doing some changes to that as well, but we'll go later. What's important for us today is this flight school program that holds about 8% of the supply of aero. So the way this works is it's voting on the major pools to generate a revenue and support liquidity there. The revenue it generates, it's used to buy aero, lock them, and then distribute them as essentially bonus for the locker of the locker of the epoch. The epoch here being a month, so it's every month that the distribution happen. Yes. Also, an interesting metric I didn't realize is so initially the flight school was 10% of the supply. Okay. And now the flight school is getting rebases, but it's not locking any new aero into its position because every new aero it locks, it distributes as a reward to the program. So you can see that today the flight school decreased to 8.15%. That kind of gives you an idea of how much even the existing participants are locking into the system. So essentially the flight school got diluted about 20% on its ownership. So anyway, I'm telling you about the flight school because you have this lock bonus when you're locking aero. And so essentially if your goal is to purchase liquid aero, that's another question. You go on the market and you buy them. Cool. But here our goal is to build a veAERO position. And essentially we have two main gateways to get there. We can either buy aero on the market and lock them, or we can straight directly go on an over-the-counter marketplace and buy a locked position, peer-to-peer / over-the-counter. The question is, which path is more profitable? So the first thing we need to establish is given our sizing, about 10K, what kind of discount can we achieve if we were to buy a position, straight locked position over the counter? And sadly for us, there is some decent discount here in the 15%, but they're a bit high in size compared to our 10K budget. We do have here, we could compose several positions together and reach our 10K. But it will not necessarily be exact. Or we have this one that is slightly over budget to see if we can fit it in, 11.4. Now we will be short even with the bold. Too bad. So yeah, essentially the goal here, first computation I'm doing is like, what would be our effective discount if we were to go OTC like this? And so we will have to mix this 1510 with a couple of 13 in that areas. And so essentially, we'll have a discount in the 14.5% effective, because most of the purchase, 60% of the purchase at this discount, and about 40% of the purchase at this discount. So yeah, we just need to get a sense of that figure, let's say 15%, and then we can compare with what has been achieved in the previous epochs. So this is particularly this area of the graph that will interest us. Oopla, sorry, I broke the June. So first, this is the estimation for this epoch. So we see 0.14. Or is it? No, flight 29. Was it previous epoch or is it? Yeah, you can have it for this. This is okay. Estimation for this epoch? Probably. But I think it was in those range, about 15%. The discount is getting a bit lower lately. What I wanted to show you bigger is the historical. So you can see it has areas of excitation. Sometimes there is really little people locking, and so the flight school can be quite huge, reach or over 50% in some period, or around 15%, 40%, sorry, and kind of have a baseline around the 0, 14, 15. So considering there is essentially not much difference, we have an anticipated discount around 14%. Here we're sourcing roughly 15% of discount. I say we can simply roll with the OTC market, and it has the further benefit of with flight school you have to wait until the end of the month period. So if you buy at the beginning of the flight school, it's also a bit risky, essentially, because first you need to wait, let's say, 3 weeks to get your actual bonus veAERO, but also you don't know who and how much they're gonna lock in the coming 3 weeks. So you might do your little math now and be happy, oh, I'm getting 22% discount, except right after you, an Omega whale come in and for whatever reason locks 10 million euro and slurp most of the budget, and you find yourself with a discount much lower. So yeah, simpler way to put it, this comparison between OTC and discount, it's at its truest during the last week of the flight school, and especially during the last few days, because of course the closer you are to the flip to the new flight school season, the more predictability you have over the fact that there's not going to be so much movement, especially if you do it very, very last minute. But of course, there are also people arbitraging that, monitoring the situation, and so on. So if you see big spread, you can expect them to be arbitraged. So with that said, let's buy some arrows. So let's slurp this one. Yeah, we're gonna need liquid aero for that. So that's the first step. Is actually, let's buy some liquid aero, because all those NFT that we see OTC on VEXC, they are priced in aero, so we can't go that far with USDC. Hop, so I'm signing in, clack, 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 with the Arena wallet. So far, so good. USDC, aero, gimme, gimme. Yeah, we're getting a sweet price, slightly below $1 for by aero. And then the 15% discount, that means roughly we would have gotten essentially one veAERO for like 0.8 $83 roughly, which is, in my perspective, not a bad entry, but also I wanted to show you the mechanism. But I think this trade is pretty brain dead, to be honest, in the sense of it's a bit like the East long, give me a time frame long enough and this will be in profits. There might be fluctuations and turbulences on the way, but I have full confidence over the long term. Okay, so clack. I'm going back to Vexy now that we have some arrows, and I'm buying what we can buy. So we're gonna buy a first position. I'm approving the whole arrow balance of what we bought, so we don't have to approve every time. But yeah, you can see the NFT offer experience is pretty straightforward, especially as a buyer. As a seller, you might wait a bit more, depending of your pricing. But if you put competitive pricing because you're in a hurry, you will also get filled pretty quickly. So we got a first NFT at, I'm going to consolidate them all so it simplifies the math after, about 8,000 euro. We're getting a second at 2,500 euros. I'm literally buying the best discount we can get for all size essentially. And now let's refresh. I think we can squeeze another one of those 1350. 2,181 euro. And how much we have? Oh, let me see if we have enough swapping the bond. That'd be neat. So that would give us 759, and we need, actually pulling the calculator on this one so we don't fuck it up. So 2,181 minus 128. No, we will still be about 100 euros short. Is there anything smaller? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to accept a worse discount for the rest, but I think we can't really do better. So yeah, to finish our IRO, we have this guy. 10% discount. It's not excellent, but it will allow us to deploy pretty much most of what we have. Yeah, we're left with 200 euros. It's okay. So rocks now. This week easy. I'll just consolidate. So we have a easy lock to manage, and we can do our first voting. And then the fancy stuff, the leverage and so on, I'm keeping it for another week to not bother you too much with aero. So we bought 3 distinct aero position. It's good to have optionality sometimes, but the size are still pretty moderate on each. So I will be happy to merge them essentially. But to do that, I need to disable the auto max lock on the merge NFT. Huh. But it's not collaborating. Let me try to merge directly. No. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm just going through each NFT, disabling the auto max lock, then we can merge them. And then, oh wow, I need to go through the other path. Little UI bug. So if I go like this and then disable, then it works. No, it doesn't. Wonderful. Maybe because I need to reset it. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. I will also reset them all. You have a bit of management to do when you get your NFT. Okay, so what's the situation? One should be automax lock disabled now. Yes. So now let's try the other. Yeah, it seems like resetting them did the trick to allow to disable the automax lock. So it's a bit of maintenance, but essentially with all of that, we will merge 3 positions. So we only have one NFT to manage. People have different strategy here depending of their time horizon. If you're on a forever position, you literally couldn't care what is the size of it, even if you have 10 million euro in them. Um, but it's probably best practice to kind of have a target size per position. Let's say 25 to 50,000 euro if you want to manage a portfolio. And essentially, um, sorry. Essentially, yeah, keeping the max position at this size and then operating several positions simply for the virtue of having then facilities in if one day you want to put them on the OTC market, it's obviously much easier to sell 50 20k euro position, for instance, than a single position of 1 million. But yeah, we've seen sales on very high locked count as well. They just tend to be a bit higher in the discount because you don't have so many buyers that can slurp you off your hands a 1 million euro or something like that. Um, yeah, we got quite a pretty OG lock, so I'm merging everything into this one because it's a 4 digits ID. It's like NFTs. We're collecting the rare one. So, da da da. We now have a beautiful lock, and let's see how much. Yes. And now I guess we can just reactivate Automax Lock before I forget. And now we can quickly do some accounting to figure out the effective purchase price. Um, so back in this one, position tracking, we have a new one on base. We are the 13. Oh, come on, formatting, bro. You can't derive from the previous? No, you can't. And I'm gonna add here then this acquisition price. So we got 11,856 euro, and we got them for a bit less than 10,000 because I need to subtract the value of remaining euro that we did not deploy. So those 206. So we got them for 9,894. No, 794. Yes. Tac. I'm doing the math. Sorry, the calculator is not on the stream, but it will be quick. Yes. So I have all. Damn, my head maths were really not bad. So average veAERO price is 0.82. I put it here in the sheet so we have it for further reference. Yeah, maybe I don't need so many digits now. Yes, and transaction up. So the timing is somewhat a bit poor on my end because we just missed the community launch, but at least we're going to be able to partake in the next ones. But yeah, for this week, we can we'll start simple. And we can just go yep, with the biggest paying pool of all time on Aerodrome, which is a consistent earner, the Rapid USDC, of course. So yeah, I'll start simple, and then we can walk it from here. Estimated rewards are about $42, a mix of ETH and USDC. So yeah, we shall see. The vote is casted, and now we simply have to wait. Is my chat bugging again, or you guys are just quiet? Let me double check here. It seems like you're quiet. Okay. I hope the sounds at least is working all right. So yeah, I'm trying to keep these under 1 hour to not lose you all. So we have, let's say, 20 minutes left. What I would like to do with that is one, check on our yay, sound is good. Nice. I'm happy. The pain of streaming. So yeah, two things I want to do is kind of follow up on our previous things. You know, we deployed quite a few things already. So the first order of business is I want to. Oh my god. First order of business is I want to follow up on. We deployed the strategy on Glider by recommendation of one of our viewers, listener. Oh my goodness. Okay, you're gonna make me search for Rabbi, bro. Fucking preview, man. Okay. Okay. Wow. Freebies. I don't know what it's doing, but it's literally freezing the fucking computer every time it triggers. Yes, I will send my little message to verify that I'm the owner of the wallet I just created. This is so necessary. Your lawyers is so happy about you. You're a good little citizen of the useful shit they recommend because they punt and they don't care to check anything. Okay, can we get to the app now? Thank you. Yes. Um, yeah, so this is another song. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not so bad. Hey, it's not so bad. We were actually in profit for a while. We were in profit. Half of the existence of the position is in profit. I don't want you guys to think that every single volatile position is cursed there. They're more deployed for long term. So this one, if you remember, can I show you the actual position, please? In profile or something now? Yes, can I get detail on that view? Okay. So this position is a simple, essentially to test this tool Glider that is offering a decent amount of options for your automation of on-chain activity. I decided to go with something super simple, a portfolio that started 100% aero. So that's when we initiated it. We bought aero 2 weeks ago. And a simple automation that says that if the price of aero is greater than $1.50, which didn't happen so far, then the allocation percentages switches from 100% aero 0 USDC to the opposite, 100% USDC 0% aero. So it's literally like an on-chain limit order that is waiting for aero to cross 150 to sell it, and then roughly our profit should be 250 because we bought uh, roughly around 1. You have the cost basis here. Yeah, very close to 1. So not much to see here. Today is not a good day for this position, of course, with veAERO down 20%. We're getting some glider points, whatever they're useful for, but at least we have that, maybe. Maybe. And same here, I believe that over the long term, this position should close. I designed it because, I want us to see the execution of this at some point in time, hopefully not 3 years in the future, but maybe in a few months, weeks, who knows. But yeah, I think so far so good. I'm happy to keep going here. Uh, the other one, well, okay. The other one I wanted to check on is this USDC at hyperfusion, because it went a bit off the script, let's say. Um, oh goodness, Hypo, what are you doing to my poor computer? Okay. So, oh, they have points as well. We're gonna be big points whale of everything. Yoo-hoo! Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, nice. No message signing. Kudos to the Apple guys. They dare to say nope to the lawyer. Um, so yeah, we have this USD looper position getting some bonus point and 22% API. So the API, we would need to double check the math, but that's why I like to deploy. We deployed everything 500 because at face value they announce us 22% API, which sounds sexy, or actually 19%. Yes, I was about to say because the performance to me seems very similar to an Adventis and a 40 acres, and on both of them we are a bit lower in terms of API. So maybe the 20% is a generous calculation on your USD vault. Holy crappy kitty crap! So yeah, on 40 acres it's 30% right now, but it definitely seems like it's surging because there is a high activity, and 20% on Adventis. Um, so I guess the question in the last 10 minutes roughly is, can we get a sense of, and I think it's a good exercise, what are we effectively exposed to with this Yo USDC? Um, so the creator of this vault essentially is ClearStar, or is it the emitter of Yo USD? Let's have a look. Is this guy on CoinGecko? It is. Uh-huh. So it's essentially a yield allocator. I guess the important part is I can show it to you. They say they do their rebalancing based on exponential fee rating, which might have helped them avoid the XUSD shenanigans. Let's see what is a high risk for exponential. Yeah, so far so good. So far so good. Yeah, it seems mostly to be criteria based on liquidity and venues. So when Yeah, okay, no, not just liquidity, because some stuff with a lot of TVL. Yes. So see here we have stream that was rated a D. And so it seems to be roughly at least doing the job. I mean, that's kind of like how I assess risk analysis tools. Is, to put it simply, the belly of the beast is the hardest part to figure right. So to tell me if which one of Avi or Morpho is the most risky or the most decentralized is a very tedious task. You have to be extremely specific. But no, what should be easier is the ends of the spectrum. So tell me what's really clean, and tell me what's really dirty, essentially. And this should, whatever is your framework, analysis method, quantitative, qualitative, whatsoever, is kind of the thing that pops out, because I don't know, a Uniswap V2, for instance, from a risk analysis perspective, well, the whole thing is immutable, there is no dependency, there are tons of super, super green flag that makes it very obvious that it's a safe protocol. And, to stay, what we were discussing, the stream USD, I didn't follow so closely, so I'll try to not say bullshit. But essentially, there were a lot of very red flags. Okay, money is going to an EOA or multisig. We don't know the signer of. Those guys can pretty much do whatever they want with the money. There is no report, no transparency. So it's really like use common sense, and use common sense as well to review the reviewing tools, I guess, is my insight here. So I'm sleeping a bit better with this UUSD. It might be a bit less degenerate than what we thought it is. The question we haven't solved yet, and I guess it's good so we can come back to it, is so far we looked at what your USD is doing, which we got happy surprises, let's say, but our exposure is not pure your USD. It's in this vault where we're leveraging your USD. And so there is a question of what kind of shenanigans happen in this vault. Do we have risk on the curator and so on? So here we need to get ourselves a bit more familiar with Clearstar, but I didn't run into those guys before. So I'd rather, and there is no curator scan. Please, someone build one. But that would be easy. We'll go on that curator scan. Oh, who are those Clearstars? Did they wreck someone in the past? Did they do some weird shenanigans with the market, changing the term last minute, or lending to themselves through various mechanisms that you can use for that? We don't have any clue of that. Um, so we kind of need to assess this ourselves, and I want to do it proper. So saving it as a to do for next week. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much our Arena wallet. I think I'm pretty happy where it stands at now, because one of the point I was a bit sad about is I want to show you some pretty responsible DeFi, and I want to stress that even with $500 placed, you can do something that matters. And I think on this front, so far so good, right? If you think about the first week, we deployed those $500 in Adventis. We got a cheap lunch out of it so far. Might not be so exciting, but keep in mind it's like $7 out of $500 in a month. It's not a small yield at all, and it kind of shows you that when people are saying retire from DeFi or things like that, I think people turn to picture the very fire. What is it? Financial independence, retire early. The very fire mindset here are like, oh yeah, I make a stash of I don't know how, but 3 million stable, and then I farm those stable, and I can retire. Fine, if you live like a king and you need 600k of USD to expense a year, probably that's what you need, 3 million of stable farming, yeah. But I imagine most of you guys are not living like kings and do not need 600k of expenses a year. Maybe your figure for expenses is something like, I don't know, let's be crazy. Let's say 50k. Well, 50k, at 20% is 250k placed in stable. So it's a decent chunk, but it's not absurdly high. And the other thing here is we're talking about covering your whole living expense out of a stablecoin bag. So essentially, being in a position that it's better than retired in a sense. I think it's a very comfortable position because that means you're freed of needs and you can focus on what you want to do. It doesn't even have to be DeFi. Maybe you actually want to grow your garden in real life, start a farm, open a restaurant. I don't know what. Um, so that's kind of like the mindset that I want to show with this arena activity. But yeah, of course, the stablecoin on itself is it's a slow process. It's going to be a slow grind to grow this. Yes, we're growing decent percent, but uh, we essentially need, on top of the very reasonable investment we're doing so far with the stablecoins, uh, we need to explore some venues that are more risk and more rewards, essentially. And so that's more or is long position and not this aero. And I think overall, the aero position is going to be interesting to allow us to dive into the management of it, the liquidity side, and get proxy exposure to the base ecosystem, which, with the upcoming token, shouldn't be a bad bet. And over the longer term, we're talking Q2 for the releases of the V3 of Aerodrome. That will shake things up quite a bit there, generate new revenues and so on. So I think we kind of have a nice arc with this token, stuff to do for the coming months. Potentially a few happy community launches on the way as well. So yeah, we will go through all of that. But as always, I hope the show was informative. It seems like we finally solved our technical problem. I will check the stream after the show, but if that's the case, I'm really happy about that. Yeah, if you have protocols you would like to us to have a look at. I cannot guarantee deployment, but you've seen I've been pretty generous with deploying the funds so far. It just I don't want to say, hey, tell me protocol I deploy, because then I'm going to be spammed with some dubious suggestions. Let's put it like that. But as long as you're proposing something interesting, cool mechanism on chain, doesn't even have to be a protocol. I was um, really glad we tried this tool, I guess is how we can call it, glider fee, because it's essentially allowing you to manage position, create positions that are programmatic. Adding it in the bookmark. So this kind of tools too is pretty cool. I had a couple saved somewhere, but yeah, I will. It was mostly analytic stuff, so I will keep it for the next time. Maybe just one that really got out. Just fetch it. It's my little spotlight of the week. Mixing arena in spotlight. Uh, yeah. This guy, and let me find you a wallet that would be interesting to look at. Just a second. We could do this one. Clack, clack. So this is a little analytics tool, so not too ambitious. It's not going to revolutionize your life, but I picture quite a few of you in the audience might be users of Liquidity V2, and this is essentially an explorer of Liquidity V2 positions, and it's pretty well done. So I just wanted to show you, especially to follow when you have a delegated trove. So here, oh, let me check. We are on the, yes, you have the screen. Oh, I can zoom a bit more. So here we are on the trove of the DeFi collective that is borrowing about 80K on mainnet, and backed by 53 ETH, something like that. What I like is it gives you a real good breakdown of the interest. So you can see that are the risk of redemption high right now, because we're paying a lot of interest with that delegation. So something to double check. You can see the adjustment uh, of the interest rate and kind of how they happen. They're being on the pretty safe side of things, yeah. Yeah, and the borrow rate on wrap stakies are a bit bigger than on ETH. But yeah, overall, if you are looking to explore some position, especially historically of a trove on Liquidity V2, I think that's a cool tool. And especially interesting is this timeline view. So here, this trove is not super sexy. There was no new borrowing, there was no redemptions. So all you see is a rate management, interest rate management. But for instance, if you're trying to understand the timeline of a trove that was redeemed, that would be also very useful. So I'll just put it here in case we need it one day. And let me put it to you in the chat as well. Can I send? Yeah, I can send on YouTube, but uh, not on Twitter for some reason. So yeah, you should have gotten it. And yeah, I think that will be a wrap for this week, or right under the hour. Feel free to shoot me your suggestions for protocol, and we'll see each other next week. Next week on the schedule, we only have a few things, but I want us to explore the advanced management side of a veAERO position. So that's going to be 40 acres. And we need to figure out also what effectively is our exposure on this leverage your USD position. Now that we got some context on what your USD is, and that would be a great medium to kind of discuss those themes that were very much in the news lately of stablecoin looping, of curator, vault, and so on. So yeah, I'm eager for that. I'm going to take a bit of time offline to also prepare, and yeah, I think we should have a good job. All right, then I'll see you in a couple of weeks. As always, same time, 3 p.m. Europe on Thursday, and you'll find all the information related to the show on my website. We have a little show page. I need to update it a bit, but I will do that today. I will put it here in the chat. So if you need, and for those who watch after who don't have the chat, tokenbrice.xyz is the website, and then you have the show tab where you will find everything. All right.